Well, this morning we've exchanged our White Russian for a blueberry coffee. If it's got a color in the title, I'm drawn to it. I don't know why. Lime? Nah, I don't really like limes. But, I wanted to kind of cover the one thing I didn't get to talk about last night this morning. Mainly because I got some other stuff I want to move on to tonight. If you've never watched a documentary called, and this shouldn't be your only source for this information, but it's called The Union. It's on Netflix. You can probably get it on, maybe even on YouTube. If it's on YouTube, I'll put it right there. And it's basically about everything that goes on behind the scenes and why marijuana was criminalized, basically. Because for a time there, it was being used as, widely used for so many different products, especially during the World Wars. They were used for the hemp, obviously. There's so many uses for that plant. A plant that probably, like I mentioned last night, is the cure to a lot of things. It's been known to greatly decrease the size of cancerous cells. And a story that's been going around for a while now, actually, if there is a video for that, I'll put it here. It's about a little girl who had epilepsy. She was having 1,200 grand mal seizures a month, roughly. She couldn't walk on her own. She had to have a wheelchair. She couldn't talk. She had to have a feeding tube to eat. And it had done some permanent damage at that point. Well, they tried everything they could try, and they basically turned towards the medical form of marijuana, which takes out the THC. So people who are complaining that people are wanting to take this to get high, you're not getting high off of it, or at least this form of it. Sure, they do prescribe, actual, buds and stuff like that. If your state supports it, you can go get it. However, my thing is this. Pharmaceutical companies are going to stop. Either they're going to try to get control of it so that they can continue to make money off of it, off of something, or they're going to try to stop it because they know that when the cat's out of the bag, which it is at this point, that there's no turning back. It's going to reveal a lot of things that we have hidden for years from people. All this war on drugs is bullshit. It's a means to an end for someone to make money. The possession of marijuana, the consumption of marijuana should not be illegal. Okay, if you want to control it, sure, you want to make growing it illegal, that's fine. Personally, I disagree with that strongly because I don't want it in the hands of the government. I would want something natural to be farmed by farmers who need work. It makes sense. You provide work for all these farmers who are having problems with whatever crops they're growing now because Monsanto or whoever is, a lot of these places aren't being allowed to sell their products with seeds, so they have to be genetically modified so that you can't take them home and make your own peppers and onions and whatever and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is that this is a control issue and a money issue. It has absolutely nothing to do with the plant itself because there are no downfalls to the plant. These tests that you saw recently that are popping up on the news are bullshit tests. What you need to ask yourself, and this doesn't just go for this substance. Alright, let's look at the side effects of all the other pharmaceuticals that are out there. When you see these things on TV, you can't have an erection, go get some Viagra. What are the side effects of that? Could affect your heart, could do this, could do that, could do this. So much damage, so much damage. There's so many pharmaceuticals out there that do probably just as much damage as they do, harm as they help. And I'm not saying that everybody out there is out to make a buck and ruin the lives of people. What I'm trying to say is that this is a plant that grows naturally. Any side effects from this, which probably are slim to none, are far greater. It's far better to consume a plant naturally. What do you think? Would you rather eat a genetically modified carrot that's twice the size and it's got all these hormones and chemicals that have been sprayed on it, or a carrot that you pulled out of the ground, that you grew yourself, that you wash it off and you eat it? There's no question to that. Like, I understand. I still buy a lot of, produce at the store, but the fact of the matter is, if I had the ability or the power to grow all the things I could. Here in Virginia, it's a little tough with the soil and stuff. We did have a garden last year, but and we're gonna have one this year again. But you gotta ask yourself a few questions when these tests start coming out, and they start making all the Republicans who like to watch Fox News go, "See, I told you. See, I told you." No, you didn't tell us because you're wrong. Check to see A, who's paying for the test, B, who's conducting the test, and C, who benefits from the results of the test. Because I guarantee you, this last test alone was an MRI test of people who claim to have smoked marijuana from 15 years on versus people who never had. 20 people were tested. That's it. 20 people got tested. And these are MRI results. This isn't taking someone who's never smoked, having them test by smoking, and then checking out the results. It's going to take 20 years before we have results like that because it's been such a taboo thing. You have to hide it under a rug. You can't let the people have it. Even though alcohol is destroying livers and the car accidents per year, most people I talk to who have smoked marijuana feel very safe and comfortable behind the wheel. They feel like they're almost overly cautious, and they're prepared for anything that comes at them. Everything you know, unless you've watched The Union or done your own research or at least read something on NORML, is wrong, probably. Like, it's so easy. I even have friends still that are like, "Oh, I don't want to be around that stuff, it's a gateway drug." It's not a gateway drug. It is just like alcohol, or just like, well, it's healthier than alcohol. It's something used as, a relaxing thing. I don't know many people who are like, "Man, I'm sick of this weed. I'm going to go get some heroin." Like, people who have addictive personalities, that's going to happen anyway. But that has nothing to do with the consumption of marijuana. None whatsoever. And this is one of those things that I feel very strongly about. Like, I feel like a lot of people have suffered, a lot of people have died, a lot of people have gone to jail, for years and years. I feel like we have wasted so much time and energy on the war on drugs, so much money. It's just ridiculous. Let everybody out of prison who is in on marijuana charges. I mean, obviously, under an ounce or 2 ounces or something like that. Have them work on farms, growing it. You know what I mean? Let's distribute it. Let's test this. Let's get this into labs. Let's see what good it can do. Because I'm sure it can do a lot more good than we even know right now. Anywho, that's my morning rant and rave. Tonight, when we come back, we're going to talk about my sudden fear of heights. I have never been afraid of heights, and it hasn't been until the last probably about 4 years. There's a very specific, strange reason why I'm afraid of heights, and I want to talk about that tonight. And I also want to talk about Jason's Climb, also known as Mount Pemmy, or Pemigewasset to those to the lay person. Anywho, yeah, come on back tonight, probably tomorrow morning. Let's face it, I'll be here tonight. You'll be somewhere else. Getting a lot more feedback. If you guys are liking these, subscribe. I'm trying to track my views and stuff like that. Share it with somebody you think might like it, or just share it on your Facebook page. That'd be great. Comment if you got anything you want me to talk about. Put it in the comments below, or email me, or contact me wherever. So yeah, I think this is a nice little morning rant and rave. So you guys have a great day today. Don't forget to make some people smile on your path to the clearing at the end of the road. And let's make this world spin a little happier together. I'm Jason Oliveira, and this is The Road to 40.